HCC continues to expose its students to the works of professional musicians, and sometimes that exposure takes unexpected form, such as the chamber music of the Kazoku Quartet.
So the quartet has been running for a good few years in and around Central Houston. It was actually my first concert with the group tonight, so I'm the baby, the newcomer in the group, and I was very lucky to be allowed to come and join in. The Kazoku Saxophone Quartet is the translation from Japanese is family quartet.
We spent a long time looking for a name, and we went through several iterations, but we discovered that there were groups in existence that had the name that we had chosen, or my least favorite story is that we were actually called the New Sound Quartet, but then we discovered that there is a wing of a very famous saxophone quartet called the Prism Quartet, and they're a nonprofit. Part of the branch of their organization that commissions new music is called New Sound. And so we thought, well, that isn't going to work. And so I asked Ma Sugihara, who's our tenor player, and I said, what is the Japanese word for family? And he said, well, it's kazoku. And I said, does that have any strange connotations other than family? And he said, no, that would work. So that's what we chose. That's what we stuck with.
So the saxophone quartet, I think, actually is a really great genre, instrumentation for classical chamber music, because we have one of each of the saxophone families. We have baritone, tenor, alto, and soprano saxophone, which means we get a really large range of sounds that we can make. One of the problems with classical saxophone quartet is that we don't have a huge amount of repertoire, so we usually have to beg, borrow, and steal from other groups. So tonight we played some solo violin music, transcribed for saxophone quartet. We stole a string quartet, we stole some piano music, but we're also so fortunate to have composers like Dr. Joey Love here at HCC, who are prepared to write specifically for our genre as well.
We'll normally start with a cornerstone work. So in this case, it was Dr. Joey Love's In Memoriam, which we had performed before, but we wanted to use again because it is really an incredible piece of music, probably the best piece of music written for saxophone quartet in the last 15 years anywhere, quite honestly. So we decided to build a program around that. So at that point, you want to diversify a little bit, find something from a different time period, find something that contrasts with it stylistically. We also like to use standard repertoire for saxophone quartet, so that involves pulling some French music out and playing pieces that would be recognized in other classical saxophone situations.
I just think that there's really nothing like experiencing live music and with live musicians in a concert hall. So any opportunity anyone has to come and listen to a concert, just take the opportunity.
Classical saxophone is a thing. It does exist. There's classical music played on saxophone, and it's actually quite delightful. I think that if people listened to it and discovered it, YouTube, SoundCloud, or live concerts would probably be the best way. I think they would find that there's a delightful genre of music that's entertaining and fulfilling and very, very satisfying. It's there to be checked out.
For HCC Beat, this is Randall Williams.